Man, I miss heavy boxing. I was a newbie to the whole sport. I joined an NHBL around 2020, which unfortunately was the final season of the NHBL. I mainly joined for fight nights because I could never afford a key. But here's some footage of me during those times. But man, I just miss heavy boxing. I'd probably be more into it if there was a league, but NHBL's been gone for nearly 2 years now. Not the fault of them. They probably thought it was the best time to leave, and they literally have things showing their goodbyes and stuff and on their Steam group, the National Heavy Boxing League. But I was never there for that much amount of time. I was there for maybe like 5 fight nights, and then I just sort of fell off. Mainly because I had life stuff to deal with and stuff. But ever since heavy boxing died, it's been kind of depressing. I can always think back to those days when I was just heavy boxing with a bunch of other people in the National Heavy Boxing League, and I sucked. I got so owned. I only ever really got one KO in a best 2 out of 3 situation where you had to kill your opponent twice in order to advance to the next round. I only got 1-1 once. And then I lost again, and then I died. But ever since then, the sport of heavy boxing has kind of become irrelevant thanks to the closure of the National Heavy League Boxing. Whatever thing. NHBL. And I just miss it, man. I even wore my Yule Hog hat to that thing. And I've had that thing for nearly 2 years now, too. And I'll always treasure those memories of me showing up for just those couple of fight nights where the winner would get a key and maybe be able to enter into the tournaments. Yeah. Kind of sucks I wasn't able to get in. But we're not here talking about me. We're talking about the sport of heavy boxing. And why it's just so sad that it's gone now. The reason why it's sad is because now not a lot of people will know what heavy boxing is like. Because not a lot of community servers tend to support heavy boxing. Same thing with casual servers, though then again, the main objective of casual is to actually play the game. Except on 2-Fort sometimes, but even then that's rare. So, I went out of my way on the community servers that I usually play on to try and get people to do some heavy boxing. And I have some recorded footage of that as well as you will start to see. But it was really hard for me to, get people together, and it was just underground. I called it Underground Boxing League or something. And it didn't have much of the same traditions and rules as NHBL, mainly because there was no room for that many NHBL rules or traditions. I mean, of course, some principles stuck, like no healing, no buffalo steak before matches, and all that. But sometimes the rules would be broken. We'd have some violent intruders come in during our matches. And I didn't get to record all of them because I also fought, and I died a lot too. Which really sucks, Now, if someone were to go out there and to make another heavy boxing league, I would be all up for that. But the likelihood of that happening right now is slim to none. Because, most of the big names from years past of all heavy boxing are just gone now. Well, maybe not entirely gone. Maybe they still play the game. I don't know what most of them are up to nowadays. But most of the major names that would draw in most interest to a heavy boxing league are gone, and they were all from the NHBL. I don't even know if anyone's attempted to start an alternative, and I even tried looking a little bit, but no one seemed to start an alternative. Now, I'd be all up for starting my own tournament thing, but, for me, it's just, I don't have that much money. I would need to start my own server, and I'd have to get a lot of people on board with that, and I don't know a lot of people in this community of Team Fortress 2. Again, I absolutely treasure my time in the NHBL, and I would love to do more heavy boxing. The most I can get to recapturing the NHBL is just, boxing on community servers with people who are willing. And sometimes you go on a community server and no one pays attention. And it's either they don't pay attention or they're too competitive, which again really sucks. And sometimes you just get that feeling of loneliness, like when you're trying to do heavy boxing, it's like a dying breed. You feel like a dying breed, and you're sad. But then there are the other times where you're able to gather at least some people interested, and you're able to get some good, memorable matches. And again, not much of the main traditions could have stuck, but we at least tried and managed to make something out of it, having a good time and stuff. But there's just a feeling of emptiness for the heavies who really care about punching. They want to punch other heavies to prove who is, better. And it sucks that now there's not really a concentrated area to do that. Like, I'm pretty sure if heavy boxing was found some way to come back, then yeah, but it'd take a huge effort. I'd be all up for that huge effort, but I don't have the resources and I don't know a lot of people. But if you like heavy boxing, then maybe if you have a TF2 friend or something, maybe try doing some heavy boxing there. Record some footage, put it on the internet. Or maybe try go into a community server on Team Fortress 2, specifically 2 Fort, because that's your real only chance at getting some sort of organized thing happening. Because on 2 Fort, people tend to respect friendlies a lot more. Not the case for all servers, but it's just a tendency, which is why all the footage you see here is mostly just me on 2 Fort organizing some form of heavy boxing. But again, it just really sucks. Heavy boxing is it's just a different thing entirely. It was a nice subgenre that it doesn't have a big hub anymore. I hope some big hub will come around someday. If so, I will join it, and I will probably lose every single fight. But I will say that I would have a fun time doing it. If you are interested in starting a heavy boxing league, then by all means, go for it. If you have everything you need to go for it, then go for it, man. Hell, if like again, I know I keep saying I would love to start a heavy boxing league, but I mean, I just really would love to do that. And I hope maybe it doesn't have to be me. Maybe it could be somebody else who starts a Team Fortress 2 heavy boxing league and brings back a sport from the brink. Anyway, that's enough me talking about heavy boxing, but just remember this. Just remember, when you go to the heavy boxing fist area and you put on the killing gloves of boxing, maybe think to yourself, maybe I can punch another heavy in the face without being interrupted. And then go for it, if you so desire. But heavy boxing will always hold a place in my heart.